Honestly, I still don't see what the big deal is. Yes, it happened, okay? I can tell you the whole story. I went out on a first date with this girl named Abby. Perfectly lovely night. We got dinner. We went back to the car. And then, like any normal person after a meal, I had to fart. So I thought, rather than hold it in and risk it sneaking out on its own when we go over a bump or something in the car, why not just release it ahead of time? Which I did. Now the problem was that I didn't leave enough time between the fart and the car, so it followed me in. And by the time I realized it was still with me, the car was sealed up and moving, and all three of us were locked in there together. Abby, me, and my fart, which I then nicknamed James. It was a little uncomfortable, yeah. I had never been in that situation before. I couldn't open a window because it was only 15 degrees outside. So other than crashing the car, I did the only thing I could, which was turning on the heater to at least blow it to the back of the minivan and let it dissipate back there. And that didn't really work, because if you don't know, when you add heat to a fart, it just becomes more worse farts. It's like blowing on a fire. And as the fart was becoming more voluminous and palpable almost, I was starting to realize that, you know, we were going to have to acknowledge it. It was a bit of an elephant in the room. Or I guess more of an elephant's fart in the room. Not that I, yeah, actually I don't know what an elephant's fart smells like. I mean, maybe it's not that bad, really. I mean, they have a pretty good diet. Hey, do you know what an elephant's fart smells like? Regardless of what an elephant's fart smells like, which I'll find out, by the way. So someone was going to have to say something about it. And luckily she did. She bit the bullet there. I mean, she didn't actually say anything. She just kind of, well, she started choking a little bit. I mean, not like vomit choking, but it was more of like oxygen deprivation choking. Like she actually couldn't get any clean air or breathe. And I'll tell you what, she couldn't have done it at a better time, because I was actually starting to lose consciousness a little bit myself. And also starting to worry about permanent damage being done to the interior of the car. I mean, that's good polyester. I don't want to have to replace that. So I pulled over to try to get James out of the car, and then Abby hopped out as well and started throwing up. Which, to be honest, was a little bit of a turnoff. I mean, I don't like to judge, but you know, it was a first date, and you only get one shot at a first impression. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, when the coast was clear, we got back in the car, and she was really polite about the whole thing. She claimed it was the food, which I guess is true in a way. It was just my food and not hers. Yeah, okay, that's kind of gross. Yeah. Overall, I think it went pretty well. We haven't gone out since, just because it wasn't really a perfect match. You know, we weren't quite right for each other, and you know, we kind of made that mutual decision that we weren't going to see each other anymore after she stopped returning my calls. Do I think farting on a first date is a good idea? You know, I still don't think it's a big deal. It turns out society kind of frowns upon it, and I've talked to some people, and they all agree that it's something that you shouldn't do on a first date. So I actually gave up farting completely for a while, and it's caused some problems. I'm kind of losing control, and now they kind of just leak out whenever they want, and yeah, that's been an issue for me recently, believe it or not. Like, was that me? Okay, now that was me. Sorry about that. Again, I said it's kind of an issue. I can't drink coffee anymore, I think. Oh my God, it's James.